Hi everybody, welcome back. This is Lisa from Art of Lisa Rosemaling, and I'm going to do some of the detailing work that I meant to start last week when I did this piece. So I'm still working on the welcome sign. I had hoped to get to it earlier, but such is life. Hey, busy mom, 3 kids, 2 dogs, husband, all is good. All right, let's see if I can get this so you're closer. Okay, remember this guy? All right, here's my welcome sign. It is base coated in a light ivory from Delta Ceramcoat, and I am going to detail it using a old Joe Sonia liner. You can't even read what this is. All right, so this was done in blues, so I'm going to detail in dark blue. So hopefully you guys are close enough and you can kind of see this. All right, let's see how this works. All right, I hope everything is well with all of you out there on this Friday, and you might be watching this on a Saturday or a Sunday and Monday, Tuesday, whenever it is. But I hope you enjoy watching a little bit of this detail work done on a rose mold welcome sign. So for those of you, okay, I'm adjusting. For those who have been with me before, and for those who haven't, Rosemaling is a Norwegian decorative art form that goes back, to the 1600s. And you know, it's very familiar with so many different cultures. In fact, today I was at Arts by the Bay Gallery in Havre de Grace, Maryland, where I am featured artist right now for a few more weeks. I'll have to share some pictures from that. And I was speaking to a lovely lady who immigrated from Russia, and her mom's visiting from Russia and heading back to Siberia very soon. And we were discussing how the Russian art forms and Rosemaling have so many similarities. So throughout all different cultures, you'll see this stroke work. All right, so I'm using a carbon black for some of my line work, but then I'm going into my Prussian blue and burnt sienna. Now, if you notice, my wet palette got a little too wet. Yeah, I add a little too much water to my sponge, so you know, it happens. I'm working with it and I'll clean that up later. So imagine my surprise when I just opened that up and went, oh, well, isn't that lovely? It's just a little too messy. It's really fine. All right, at least it makes it wet enough for me to work with right now. All right, so we'll do as much of this as we can before I break and go meet my parents for dinner. They're visiting right now. They're upstairs. And 2 of my kids are upstairs waiting for my husband to get home. My oldest child, my firstborn, is away at school. She's enjoying her college time. All right, so this welcome sign is based on one that I had done prior. So I had done this one. I don't know which way this is going to come across. So I'm basing it on there, but I'm playing with different color forms in this. So again, I'm going with a white background. So with detail work, detail is about outlining, and not outlining everything, but about highlighting and giving depth to the stroke work that's been done before. Rosemaling is based on S strokes and C strokes, and you want to have variation in your color to give it life, and you want to have variation in your line work. It's what makes it interesting. Now, sometimes I have a tendency to overdo my detail. Sometimes it's called embellishment also. And I'm trying to learn how to refrain how much stuff I put on there. It's not always easy. I can go a little overload with it. but I'm working on it, you know. And I've been rosemalling for a long time. I was 11 with the first time I really started, and 15 when I ended up in a business with my dad and reteaching myself. So, and then I was 19 when I started working with a lovely lady named Lise Lorentzen, who eventually became a National Endowment of the Arts recipient. She's a Vesterheim Gold Medalist, a VGM. So Vesterheim is a museum in Decorah, Iowa. Ooh, I didn't like that. Ready? Here's the nice thing with acrylics. Oh, look at that schmutz. So, artists always have an interesting language. Schmutz, whatchamacallits. Oh, oof. All right. Here's the thing. Do as I say, not as I do. So we're just going to wipe that away a little bit. It's still a little schmutzy, so let's see what I can do with that. We'll add a little line there. We'll come back over that. Isn't it nice to know that it doesn't matter how much experience you have or how little experience you have? Little schmutzes, accidents happen, and you know, you just fix it, do something with it, and in the long run you can't worry over that little piece because I'm not really going to remember it later on, and anybody who's looking at the whole thing will go, ah, so we can maybe do a little thing there, and then we'll bring something out like this. There we go. That works. All right, so in my detail paint, if you notice, it's very loose, and you want your detail paint to be wet. I mentioned last week about a formula that I use for my medium. And that formula is, and I use Joe Sonia Paints by Chroma. So that is 1/3 clear glaze medium, 1/3 flow medium, and then 1/3 retarder medium, okay? And I simply mix it in a little container like this, and then I have it on hand to work with. And for my detail paint, I actually add it into my detail paint and mix it together. So it's almost like, well, you know when you're a kid and you take your vanilla ice cream or whatever flavor ice cream you like, and you just mix it together and you make it so it's all nice and smooth and mushy. Well, yeah, that's the consistency that you want to have when you are doing your detail paint. You want it to flow over the paint that you already have there. All right. When you get to this point, it's actually very relaxing. Well, for the most part. Sometimes when I'm teaching class, this sometimes is the most stressful part to do. But when you're doing detail work, you want to sit and just play. Play, play, play. Play and play. Don't mind my board here. It's kind of I write different things upon it. I'll doodle and I'll practice. And I push. All right, so when I'm doing with this friend of mine here, my brush, is I'm literally taking it, I'm landing it like an airplane, and I'm pushing it down, and I'm taking it back up again. Thin to thick to thin to thick. All right. Let me do a little bit more, just so you can see a little bit more of this. I don't know how long I should make these videos sometimes. You know, long enough to enjoy and so you get an idea. And again, once I get a little time to breathe, which hasn't been happening much lately. It's all good, though. Life is good each and every day, no matter how busy it gets. Just remember, each and every day is a good day, and you want to make the most out of each 24 hours that you get. So, let's see. I'm not sure where I was going with that, but it kind of went on a tangent on its own. All right, let's bring a little line this way. So this guy, I am going to make a pattern out of him. And the original will end up on my Etsy site here. I'll be refreshing my Etsy site in the next 2 or 3 weeks and adding on to it. I'll have to put that on, but it's Art of Lise, L-I-S-E, Creations on Etsy. Alright, let's just add a little bit of a line up here. And if you notice, I put some straight lines in here, and they're still in here. Let's see, where is my straight line? Looks like it's right about there. It's kind of nice to have those straight lines in there because they add a little variety to it. All right. Let's see if I can put one more guy in there. I'll swirl around, and I'm going to take a teardrop. I'm going to pull that towards me. All right. Well, hopefully that actually came across okay. All right, have a great night. Thank you for joining me.